We work hard, we play hard. We are Gamerpreneurs. Individuals who have chosen to give up the security of a 9-to-5 in favor of getting to set our own hours, of doing the work that we want to do, and we refuse to give up the hobby that we grew up with in order to, quote, grow up. We have learned countless laws of life and sales from the games that we play, and we excel in everything we do. We see the wonder and glory in every interaction. We fit in awkwardly with the rest of the world because they don't understand our quirkiness, and we wear it as a badge of pride. We are focused, clear, and know what we want. We are Gamerpreneurs, and we are taking over the world. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Gamerpreneur podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Bradford Carlton. Today I have a very special guest with us. I have DarkReaper8527, aka Chris. Hey there, Chris. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. It's a beautiful sunny day in Las Vegas. How about yourself?
Oh, not too bad. We're out in actually warm Massachusetts today.
Usually you just wait. Just wait a day or two. There's a giant storm heading your way.
Oh yeah. But today we lucked out. It's 71 degrees in Boston today.
That's better than we're doing here in the desert.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, we're high of 54 today.
Oh, that's not bad.
Not too bad, but it's cold for me. I prefer 120 any day of the week.
Oh no way. I love the cold.
All right, so Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Chris. As you know, I'm a lifelong gamer, and recently decided to start streaming. And I am very active in the automotive community as well. I spend a lot of time working on cars. I work in the auto industry, but gaming is really my passion. So that's
fantastic. So I just want to point out for those of you who are not watching the live video, we actually have a special guest star making an appearance at the moment. So who is that?
That is Luna. She is one of my cats. She is super attached to me, as you can tell. Does not leave me alone for anything.
On your shoulder, rubbing you, like so. If Chris sounds a little distracted during this interview, it's probably because he's being assaulted.
Yeah, typically.
All right, Chris. So I start every podcast with one question. I'm going to ask you it as well.
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being high, how weird are you?
I think I'm about an 8.
Why is that?
Why? I've got a lot of like super weird habits. I'm a perfectionist about certain things, and I like a lot of weird stuff.
Okay.
I like I collect Funko Pops. Not that it's weird, but I collect those. Excuse me.
Sure.
I've got just a lot of weird habits and.
Okay. So that's awesome. You say 8, so I'm like, oh, that's really high. He's got to have some like real reason to be weird. But Funko Pop.
Well,
sure.
I guess I'm average. I guess.
Okay. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your stream? What do you do? What kind of stuff do you play? How long you been doing it?
Well, I used to be pretty much a hardcore Destiny 2 streamer. I absolutely love the game. Really think it's phenomenal. I recently did stop streaming it. I still play it off of stream here and there. And I started playing Fortnite of all games. I was not into Fortnite for the first 10 seasons of the game. Really didn't enjoy it. And then Chapter 2 came out a couple months ago now. And it's been really, really good. I've spent a lot of time on the game. And I do also play like Call of Duty. I do a little bit of just chatting here and there, so I can kind of chill and hang out with my community when I don't really have a lot of content, I guess, to really make.
Okay.
Or when I'm really not in the mood to game. I really just I enjoy hanging out with my community a lot.
Wonderful. So how did you first start streaming? You said you were a hardcore Destiny 2 streamer. So at some point, LittleChris was a brand new streamer. When did that start?
That started about a year and a half ago now. I ended up, I was working in the auto industry and ended up losing my job. And after about a month, took me some time to apply 100 different places, couldn't find a job. So I was like, all right, well, I've got to think of something. And meanwhile, I'm playing Xbox at night, or, playing games at night. I'm like, well, I might as well try it out, build a community. I've always wanted to build a community around something, just was never sure what. So I might as well start this and see where it goes,
Okay.
That's kind of how it all started.
Now, at what point did you decide like to really continue doing that?
It was kind of a decision I made as I started to grow. And I was kind of thinking like, oh, if I get a viewer here, a viewer there, a couple of followers, it'll be fun. Just, and then I started to grow a little bit more than I thought I would. I reached affiliate on Twitch in about 3 weeks. So after that, I was kind of really focused on building a community. And it just kind of clicked with me that, people come here because they care about you, and, they want somewhere to go if they're, either upset or they want to hang out with you because they enjoy your content, or it's like the thought of somebody coming into a stream and hanging out for 6 hours with me because they enjoy watching me play, to me is absolutely bonkers. So
Yeah.
so I'm super thankful for anybody who's coming in and watching and hanging out with me,
Okay. So let's talk about you making affiliate. Like you said, it happened in 3 weeks. What did you do? Like, were you marketing? Were you like, did you have a big following on Twitter or something to get these people in?
So when I started, it took me about a week, and I was like, all right, well, I'll make an Instagram page. I started with just Instagram only, and I made a Twitter, but I wasn't super active on it. Maybe a post here, a post there. But I really focused on Instagram for some reason, and I spent maybe a couple hours a day kind of scrolling through Instagram, making a few posts at minimum daily. And I decided, why don't I promote a post, see how it goes? And it actually gained a little bit of traction, which was really nice. And a couple of people came in from, well, a lot of people came in from Instagram, and kind of hung out there. And that is one thing I will say, when I was playing Destiny 2 a lot and streaming that, is that community is very, very good. Everybody treats you like family, really.
Okay. So when you say you promoted the post, does that mean you paid advertising dollars for it, or were you just like hustling and getting that one out?
Yep. So, you obviously use like standard hashtags, stuff like that, but you actually, you pay the advertising money on a post that's doing well already. Is what I did, and it really kind of blew up a little bit more than I was expecting. It wasn't like viral or anything like that, but it gained a lot more traction than I thought it would. And it was really cool to see that, and that I think that was part of the reason why I ended up making affiliate. And since then, I have gone and I've made a Twitter, a TikTok. I still have the Instagram going. I do have a Facebook page, but I don't really use it because I've never really seen it get any traction. So I really don't focus my energy there as much.
Okay. Now, do you still do advertising? I mean, you said you've taken a little bit of a break, but did you continue to do advertising, or is it just a one-shot deal and it blew you up?
Well, I still do a daily minimum of 2 or 3 posts on Instagram daily. I'm super active on Twitter throughout the day. And I don't really put in the money right now for the Instagram advertising. Because I just did switch over to playing Fortnite, I'm trying to see what hashtags gain traction, what exactly people want to see on Instagram versus Twitter, and you know what I mean? So I want to make sure I'm doing well on that front before I go and spend money on the advertising for it.
Okay, so you're actually doing some planning beforehand. You're testing, you're seeing what's working, what's not.
Right.
Wonderful. Okay. Now, as a person or as a streamer, what unique skills or kind of attitudes or things you're doing do you think that are making people attracted to you and sticking around?
Well, one thing I will say that I think really makes my community unique is we're all there for each other. We treat everybody like family. It doesn't matter what your background is, doesn't matter where you're from. Everybody in my community I try and make sure that it's a safe place for people, where there's no judgment, there's no reason for you to be like afraid to talk in my chat or anything like that. I make sure that it's not toxic. It's everybody's loving and there for each other, you know?
Beautiful. Now you've been doing this, you said, about a year and a half. What kinds of resources are you using? What software are you using? What kinds of equipment?
Well, so right now I stream from an Xbox One straight to Twitch. It's not ideal, but I also use Streamlabs and Stream Elements, Nightbot. I have a Discord set up for the stream. So I've got a lot of different things that I'm using. But as far as, it's a little difficult to get overlays without a capture card and a PC to run it through. So I don't have any overlays or anything like that, but I do have the Streamlabs like chatbot set up, so it's easier for me to view chat from my laptop and stuff like that.
Let's talk about that for a second, because I know a good number of people don't do the computer thing. They're only doing it off a console. Do you find it more difficult as opposed to somebody who might be doing it on a PC?
I definitely find it more difficult because one of the issues I have mainly is there's no on-screen alert to let me know when somebody follows or when somebody hosts or raids or subscribes. So I need to be consistently watching, it's this thing called ground control from Stream Elements. And it's a little pop-up bar on the left side of my laptop that I have that lets me know when somebody follows or something like that. So I can either shout them out in the stream, say thank you, whatever it may be. And then I also have a command for my Nightbot that every I want to say 45 minutes, shout out to my 3 latest followers. So at least, that's there for them to feel included,
Fantastic. All right. So are you making money at this? How's it going?
I am making money. I haven't super monetized myself yet because that's one of the things I'm having a hard time with is I don't want to lose my, my feeling of everybody's family here, everybody's included. I'm having a difficult time trying to find a way to monetize that in a good way. But obviously there's subscribing through Twitch, and Twitch has their bits. I do have Streamlabs for donations, as well as alerts, and I do try and make sure people are following the channel and using Twitch Prime when they can and stuff like that.
Okay, fantastic. Do you have a 9-to-5?
I do.
Okay, so you found something wonderful.
It's more of a 7 to 7. So I work in the automotive industry as a service advisor, full time. It's a very mentally demanding job because nobody comes in when they get their car towed in and is happy about it, So that's a challenge daily for me. It's not my passion. It's not what I'm happy doing, but I am very good at it. I think it's just because I relate to people so well, and I don't want to see anybody upset, So I always try and do my best to make sure that client is happy, or at least as comfortable as possible while they're getting their car serviced or getting a new car because theirs is done for.
Okay. So how do you find the balance between doing your job, your day job, and being able to stream?
That's an easy one. I don't sleep. I sleep maybe 4 or 5 hours a night if I'm lucky, most nights. Typically, I'll spend one night and get a full 8 hours. But other than that, I sacrifice sleep to try and build a community. And obviously, I have my day job that I have my commitments to. But, building a community to me is super important. So I sacrifice other things in my life to make sure that can happen.
All right, rock on, man. That's hardcore.
I try.
But you're not the first person I've interviewed who's told me that.
Oh yeah, it's a challenge. I try and stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, Tuesdays, and then Saturdays and Sundays as well. With a couple of days off to catch up on housework, stuff like that, and catch up on sleep if possible.
Okay. Now, going back about a year and a half ago when you first started, if you could go back and you could tell LittleChris, a year and a half ago, give him some advice, what would you say?
What would I say? So remember that most people are in it for themselves. Um, there's a lot of people on Twitch who are, um, just in it for themselves, which is fine if that's your prerogative. I don't have an issue with that. I believe in helping people and supporting people. Some people just want to monetize and build, and that's okay if that's what your prerogative is. I don't believe in it. And I tend to have a lot of faith in other people. So early on, I got taken advantage of a few times. When I first started, I reached affiliate so quickly. I helped a few other people reach affiliate, and then they ended up never coming back once I helped them reach that goal. So I mean, it is what it is. But it was a little odd for me because I was like, I just spent a month helping you reach affiliate by either hosting or rating or hyping people up on Twitter or whatever it may be. Just to pretty much never hear from them again was a little difficult for me to understand. But I don't hold it against anybody.
Okay. So you have some experience helping other people do it too.
Yes.
About how many people do you think you've helped?
Probably 3 or 4. I ended up helping people reach affiliate directly. I do have a channel set up in my Discord for people trying to reach affiliate, and I will help them in that regard with live alerts in my Discord or with shout outs in my channel when they come in and hang out. But I've gotten a lot more selective about it. Because I want to make sure that if I'm putting my name out for somebody, that I believe in what they're trying to do.
Okay. What advice would you have for somebody starting out brand new like me? I don't have a stream. Maybe someday I'll do it, but like, what would you tell me?
What would I tell you? I would tell you not to focus on branding yourself a super lot in the very beginning. And I would focus on playing what you enjoy versus playing what's popular or doing what you enjoy. One of the most popular streams on Twitch right now is the IRL channel. So people go there for a lot more than just gaming. So if your favorite hobby is cooking, I'd say start a cooking stream.
Okay. Fantastic.
Chase your hobby, not just gaming,
All right. Let's see. Let's talk about you as a gamer. When did you first start playing games?
Oh, geez. So I've been gaming since I was maybe 6 or 7 years old. I remember my cousin had a Nintendo 64 with a GoldenEye. And so I used to, every time I went to my cousin's house, I was super excited because he had GoldenEye. And we would go and we'd spend hours downstairs in his basement on this little tiny TV, just playing GoldenEye all day long. And it just, that's where it all started. I think, it's always been a super big hobby for me and a passion, and it's grown throughout the years. And I've really, really just enjoyed how everything's progressed.
So it kind of sounds like you've more or less stuck with the same genre of first-person shooters then.
Yeah, I mean, I do enjoy some RPGs and stuff like that, but I am very heavy into first-person shooters. Like I do enjoy games like Skyrim and Final Fantasy X, kind of turn-based. I actually recently started playing Hearthstone as well. So that's a little bit of a different mix for me, but I am very heavy into the first-person shooters.
All right. Now, are there any games coming out anytime soon that you're looking forward to? Any
games coming out soon. See, I'm always reserved when it comes to games now because number one, we're a lot more spoiled than we used to be with gaming, and number two, it's been a lot of games have been a letdown off of release. So I haven't pre-ordered a game probably in the past couple of years. I am looking forward to Cyberpunk though. I know that releases soon. I'm not sure of its release date, but Cyberpunk looks like it's going to be pretty good. I'm excited for that, but I'm hopeful for it. Hopefully it'll be good on release and we'll be able to kind of feel it out and maybe I'll do a playthrough on stream of it.
Sure. I'll look forward to that. Like I normally just watch a VOD of it first, at
Yeah.
least see what it's like. And then if I'm interested, and then I'll go get it.
Yeah, I usually do a little bit of YouTubing on it and a little bit of you know, watching some streams of it, stuff like that, and see how it goes, see what everybody's feeling like, and go from there. I know Anthem for me, I was super hyped for Anthem. I followed that game from its like original production day to release, and when it released, I was probably one of the saddest puppies on earth.
All right. Here's a fun question. What's your favorite game of all time?
Favorite game of all time? I would have to say Final Fantasy X. Okay, so Final Fantasy X for me, I am in love with the story of Final Fantasy X. I absolutely love the turn-based combat. Just the backstory between Yuna and Titus, and is it Titus or Titus? It's so bad that I don't even know that.
Titus.
I want to say it's Titus, but just everybody's stories, how they all mesh together, how everything works. The turn-based combat, like I said, is phenomenal for me for its time. It just everything went so well together.
I can't say I spent 1,000 hours on one save file. I was assuming you didn't mean one save file, but if you did, man, that's hardcore. I think the most I ever did was maybe 200 hours on one save file, and I had maxed everybody's stats out by then. So,
well, I think I had on one save file, I did like a couple of playthroughs that were quick, get the hang of things, and I think one save file I did like maybe 400 hours on, maybe a little bit more, 490. What I wanted to do was max everybody out and then get all of the celestial weapons, pretty much get 100% completion of it. Because I enjoyed it so much, I figured why not.
I will never forget that lightning.
That lightning was absurd. Absolute insanity. That was my least favorite place in that game.
Right. No, there was a trick to it. There's like one spot that if you took like one step and then hit X, it would like every time.
Yeah, you would dodge it every time.
Then you'd have to count what you're doing. So.
Yeah, you have to count your steps. You have to count, see the flash on the screen and hope you press X fast enough, or just craziness.
So let's see. Let's talk more about you as a person. So generally speaking, how did you end up being kind of where you're at in life?
Well, my childhood was a little rough. I grew up. I had to grow up very early in life. For a number of different reasons. Number one being I was born with a disease called Arnold-Chiari, which is like a herniation of the brainstem. So that I've had to have 11 brain surgeries for that. So growing up, that was always part of my life. So it caused me to grow up very quickly. So I've always been, I guess, mature for my age, even growing up. So I feel like that's helped me a lot in the long run, though. Believe it or not, I kind of look at it as a blessing because I feel like I have a very good spectrum on things and how things are and, what exactly I'm kind of having a hard time finding words for it. Sure. But I feel like I have a good spectrum on things ultimately.
Well, rock on for being able to overcome that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sure.
So growing up was difficult, but at this point, it's I look at it as a blessing, and so that's kind of how I was growing up. But me as a person today, I'm fairly, believe it or not, I'm an introvert. I'm not.
Most gamers are.
Yeah, exactly. So when I figured out that I wanted to stream, I wanted to do all of that, I was like, well, how am I going to combat that, stuff like that. So it's actually a lot easier for me to talk to people on stream or like this versus like in real life. I'm super quiet in real life and I say almost nothing, but through the webcam or however, it's much easier for me.
Okay. Now, I want to ask you something that's, I want to humble you a little bit if that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. What's something you're currently not good at?
Currently not good at. There are a few things that I'm learning. My wife is currently 7 months pregnant, so I'm trying to take care of the house.
Is this
And I
your
am
first?
finding out that I am not good at it. I'm very bad at taking care of the house.
Is this your first?
Yes, yes, it
Well,
is.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Expect
Thank you.
the first 6 months to be the worst time of your life.
That's fine. That's fine. I heard I don't sleep at all, but I don't sleep.
4 to 5 hours. No, that's a lot when you have a newborn. I had to take shifts with my wife. Like I would sleep from like noon till 3,
Mhm.
and then I'd be up until noon again, and then she'd be sleeping other times here and there.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to, I want to say, kind of take shifts or take days. Maybe like in the very beginning, like, hey, you take this whole day, I'll take this whole day. Or, we're kind of managing early on before the baby's born, trying to figure out what might work for us now. That way it's not at least too much of a crazy, like craziness trying to get it to work.
As I think it was Mike Tyson that said, you can have the best strategy in the world until you get punched in the face. So.
Yeah, exactly. And I am well aware that that's what it's going to be. Everybody's like, oh, well, why are you even planning? Because it's never going to work. And I'm like, well, at least if we have a base plan down, we can wing it from our base plan,
Absolutely. All right, let's go back to your stream again for a second.
Okay.
So when people come on and they see you or they come across you for the first time, what's something you think they misunderstand about what they're saying?
A lot of times when somebody comes in for the first time, I am not a pro player, but I have fun with it, and I think when like I die or something like that in game, or I had a couple of I had somebody come into my stream. I was in the middle of a build battle in Fortnite. I was like, hey, how are you? And I actually went to place a floor underneath me, and we were like super high up, and I fell down and died. And that was the last, like it was a 1v1 for the win. And I was laughing because I fell. I couldn't place the floor and I fell. And they were like, bro, you just died. You just lost the last gunfight of the game. Why are you laughing? I was like, well, what are you going to do? Why not?
That's a fantastic attitude to have. All right. What do you think? Do you have a good chat or a bad chat?
What's that?
Do you think you have a good chat or a bad chat?
My chat goes from being the greatest chat ever to super toxic. It is. So there are some viewers I have that are super loyal, that just get toxic sometimes, and that's a challenge for me sometimes, because I want to make sure my community is very open and welcoming. And then there are other days where I have, people come in and it's amazing. Overall, I love my chat. My chat is amazing. All of my viewers are amazing. My community is awesome. I love everybody there. Wonderful. But it can get heated. That's for sure.
All right. What do you think the best compliment you've ever received from your chat is?
So the best compliment I have received in my chat, I spent a lot of time thinking about this one. I actually have one of my viewers who understands me pretty well and really kind of gets what I'm trying to do. And he actually, there's kind of two people here, but he actually drew me the Papega emote from Twitch. It's like a frog, and he's got like this weird face, and it's funny. It's a funny looking emote. And he drew that and put my Twitch handle underneath it, and it looks super cool. I have a picture. That's actually my Discord picture. I got rid of my my professional logo and put that there because I like that better. So he made that for me, and I was blown away, absolutely blown away.
Cool.
Yeah, and then what? Oh, go ahead.
Okay, no, go ahead. If you had another one.
The other, another viewer that has been watching me since before I was affiliate, has an immense amount of time watched, and he's super loyal, and I can't even believe he has over 1,000 hours watched in my channel. So to me, in a year and a half, to watch over 1,000 hours of my content is unbelievable.
That is a lot of time. Now, let me ask you,
Yeah.
what do you think it is that made him stick? Because everybody wants, viewers like that. They just stay forever. What is it about this guy or about you that's keeping him around?
Well, I think it's because I'm open-minded, and when somebody says something in my chat, I kind of try and take it from their point of view and where they might be coming from. So, he'll say, he's actually taught me a lot. So in the very first like stream, he was like, "Oh, this game's terrible. Why are you even playing it?" I was like, "Well, did you have a bad experience with the game? Did you have you ever even played it?" He's like, "Well, it was Destiny 2 that I was playing." And he's like, "Well, I played Destiny 1 like the first 6 months and I hated it. Why would you even buy Destiny 2?" And I was like, "Well, the game's in a really good state right now. Why don't you play Destiny 2 with me? We'll kind of grind it out together, see how it goes, and learn, see if you enjoy it, on the second game." Now, granted, early Destiny 2 was not that great. It was a little rough, but I think it was right before, I think, right after the second DLC. So there was a little bit of content there to kind of go through and play, and Forsaken was releasing soon. So there was some hype built around it. So it kind of helped me get him he bought the game and then played a little bit of it with me. He loved it. I think I ended up buying him the Forsaken DLC because he loved the game so much. But I think it was just really cool because he went from being like a little aggressive about the game I was playing to actually being, "Oh, well, this is actually pretty good." So I was able to teach him a little bit about the game, and I think it's just kind of stuck ever since. We kind of just understand each other in that sense,
Okay, so you made a friend.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's about. That's really why I enjoy my community. Is we're all friends. We all care about each other, which is what I
Absolutely.
want.
Like I like to say, you have to friend raise before you can fundraise.
Exactly. That's kind of what I'm really building back to the monetizing. Is what's really important to me is building a larger community before I even monetize. Hi, Luna. So I'm not super heavy on monetizing, but I do obviously want this to be something I can do full time. So obviously that's going to happen at some point.
Okay. Now going back to your chat, what do you think the worst trolling you've ever received is?
Probably from the same person I said was my best viewer. He has spent countless hours trolling me. He's said some stuff in in chat, and I've just been like, "Dude, why?" Or he's told me to do some stuff in a game that I'm new at that he's got a couple hundred hours and it's gotten me killed, or just multiple things. It's consistent, but I love it.
Okay, fantastic. At least that's a fun trolling. I've heard some pretty nasty ones before.
Yeah, I've been view botted before. I've been follower botted before by people. I don't know exactly who, but that end of it can be pretty toxic, and that end of it is a little rough because you never know who it is, so you can't really ban them from your chat.
Right. Okay, now let's talk about the whole community of streaming. Are you fairly involved with the community of streamers?
So, yes and no. I'm very selective about other streamers. Not for any particular reasons. There's a lot of different reasons. But there are a lot of different channels I'm active in the Twitch community. And I think it's a good thing, but I don't think for me building a stream as a long-term thing, really, I don't think that's going to help me because obviously most streamers are spending time streaming. I rather hang out with people who are going to spend time watching and build a relationship with those people.
Okay, very nice. So you mentioned before where you're at on social media, but can you tell everybody where they can find you and what's your handle?
All right, so you can find me on TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, all at DarkReaper8527. And then YouTube, you probably have to search DarkReaper8527, but you can definitely find me there. I just don't have like the /DarkReaper8527 on there.
Wonderful. So no, this has been a fantastic interview. I really appreciate you coming on. Now, is there anything else I didn't ask that you think we need to talk about before we wrap up?
I think we've covered most things, other than I did want to ask you a quick question.
Sure.
I originally saw you on Twitter,
Okay.
and I thought it was awesome. I forget what post it was, but I was like, all right, so this guy's got to be awesome. And I love your Twitter content. Where can I find you other than Twitter?
Okay. So on Twitter, I'm at the Gamerpreneur. On Instagram, I'm at the real Gamerpreneur.
Okay.
On YouTube, it's the Gamerpreneur. TikTok, it's at Bradford Carlton. And I think you told me I have the most wholesome TikTok in the world.
It really is. Your TikTok is the greatest thing I have ever seen. Anytime I am sad, I watch that TikTok, instant smiles.
The trick is I do dad jokes with my daughter on TikTok. And in order to get her to sit there with me, I have to have her in the mood to do it. So if I go, hey, Bree, do you want to do jokes with me? And she says no and runs away, well, I'm not doing jokes with her. So I have to catch her. Like I usually try to do a bunch at a time when she's in the mood and then just schedule them out.
Right.
Facebook, I think my personal account is Brad Carlton, but I don't really use Facebook.
Yeah, I don't really use Facebook. Like I have my personal Facebook, but I do have my Dark Reaper Facebook, but after putting work into it and trying like 3 or 4 promoted posts and still not getting traction, I just found that, and with Facebook gaming being a thing now, I don't think it's really a place for me to promote my Twitch, because people who are already on Facebook that are looking for gaming are probably going to stay organic to that platform. Okay.
I do have a second Instagram. I don't post out there anymore. I don't know why I don't post there. I've got over 5,000 followers. It's bradford.s.carlton.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I've been bleeding followers for months on that one. I used to have 6,000.
I think I have abandoned my personal Instagram. It's just I spend so much time putting content on my gaming Instagram and my Twitter and TikTok and everything else that I don't find time for my personal things anymore. So.
Oh, I understand. In fact, most of my social media, I'll pick a couple days a month to just make everything for the next month and then schedule it. So I do 8 posts a day on Twitter minimum. Instagram, I do 2 posts a day, and TikTok is once a day.
Yeah, I'm actually ramping up my Instagram posts. I'm going to try and do like 5 Instagram posts and then 5 stories daily. And then my Twitter, I run pretty much at the seat of my pants while I'm at work or while I have a random thought. I'm like, hey, let's put this on Twitter, because I can do that from mobile. So that's pretty easy,
I didn't grow up with phone in hand all the time. I had controller in hand. So the Twitter age almost passed me. I'm like, oh no, I got to catch this. It's almost too late. So for me to bust out my phone and post a tweet, that's like totally foreign to me.
Yeah. So it was so foreign to me for the longest time. And then I was scrolling through Reddit for a while and downloaded Twitter, made a gaming Twitter, and it just turned into me scrolling for 4.5 hours. So I figured if I can scroll for that long through Twitter, I might as well make a solid college try to grow my Twitter,
Absolutely. All right. Well, DarkReaper8527, Chris, thank you so much for coming on. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I really do appreciate it. And thank you for having my obnoxious cat as well.
Sure thing.
I appreciate it. She's super cute. But
I'm going to have to take a pets of Gamerpreneurs, because I've had a lot of guests with different pets on.
Yeah, she's definitely crazy. And, she does this while I'm gaming as well. And it's a little crazy, but.
Okay. Well, on that note, I'm going to say thank you again. And everybody, please take it easy. Hey, if you like this podcast, I'd love to invite you to check out a little bit more about me, Dr. Bradford Carlton, Gamerpreneur. If you go to my website, www.thegamerpreneur.com/bonus, I'm going to give you a free copy of my book, The Warcraft of Business, where I explain my history in both gaming and business and how I brought the two together in order to create some very successful companies and help a lot of people. And all you got to do is pay for shipping and processing, and I'll send you this book. I absolutely know you're going to love it. All right. You all take it easy.